to everybody on this Thursday. It's always an honor to have you here present with me talking about Dr. Jane Mackenzie live, miracle medicine, breakthroughs on a physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual level. Today is the culmination of the 4 weeks of our Self-Love Get Back into Shape course. And many of you have registered. There is still time to register. It's complimentary for the next week. Thereafter, it will be a paid-for course. So I really have given you this gift of a complimentary course to set the year 2026. We're coming up to the definitive Chinese New Year, which is the year of the Yang Heart Horse, which you all know about. I've been talking about it. I've integrated it into the flow of this work, the workbook and the course. And it's going to prevail this whole year. So we're ending off the snake, shedding all that skin, and we're moving with drive and passion and courage and love and motion into the year of the horse. So I hope you've enjoyed the series. I certainly have. Those people, as I say, that have registered, and there's quite a number of you. Thank you so much. I'm sure it's going to hold you in good stead for the rest of the year. Certainly me. I've put huge things into play, and I've mentioned some of them along the way. So it is self-transformative, and at the end of the day, self-discovery, raising our awareness, deepening into consciousness, and the achievement of our divinity. So today is one on emotional and spiritual. And I'm going to be sharing quite a lot about that with you, and also how to nourish the spiritual, emotional side. With the Yang Heart Horse year, we want to talk today about living from the heart. And self-love actually is a way of life. From the minute you wake up to the minute you sleep. Whatever you're doing, be conscious. Is this contributing to my self-love or detracting from it? And you can immediately make adjustments. It's time to go. Somebody's calling me. It was nice to chat to you. That energy field needs to be clear. You need to be gaining. Otherwise, the battery's dissipating and it's not along your path. And those of you who come for the holistic, ancestral, generational, repeated pattern release know what I'm talking about. We're following our path. That's where we're going. To the left and right, up and above and below us are the opportunities to heal and grow. Notice them, learn the lessons, grow. Notice it, learn the lesson, grow. And there will be that element of discomfort, which we need. We need the chaos, we need the convergence, and then the divergence into the new paradigm. That's called the quantum collapse. Those of you who've read my doctorate will know multidimensional holistic well-being framework, which is the HILO. HILO stands for Holistic Integrated Epigenetic Life Orientation, where I spell it all out, the framework. It is about, again, our path, where we're going, and finally achievement of our divinity. That's what we do here. So it's really exciting. I love it. And we just peel away the onions of emotional baggage. Those rocks that are in the rucksack on our back. That some of them we're carrying honorably, but all of them are there to shift us. So we want to bring in beautiful nutrition. Week 1, we talked about detoxification and preparing the body and movement and agility. And then we moved from the physical to the neurological. And today we're moving from emotional to spiritual. So holism means physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. So I've wrapped up the course perfectly for you. And I'm really looking forward to sharing today about my high-level nourishment. I have already. Those of you who've been following, I've literally laid out what to do. If you read between the lines, you'll see exactly what my main modus operandi is and how to integrate the various nutrients from the 365 Healthy by Choice range.
And there's loads more on my YouTube channel, Dr. Jane Mackenzie. There's well over 400 video educational videos right now. My website is loaded. There's testimonies, there's case studies. There's a search thing on my website. You can put liver in and you'll get all the little bits and pieces that are related to liver, the webinars that have been held, etc. So it really is an educational space, super sensory overload. Self-love is a way of life coming from the heart. The heart is the organ where we're balancing love and hate, love and hatred. So we always want to be aware of that, because hatred is really deep and love is really deep too. And it's not a question of duality where love and hatred are on opposite ends of a linear scale. It's a scalar wave. Inside that vortex, you got that balance of love and hatred. And we will experience, possibly if we've asked for it, opportunities to experience and sense hatred, snap out of it and move to a higher level of love. Deeper appreciation for self, understanding of self, wisdom. So we're working in what we call the existential field. The earthly plane will be the experiential field, where we're experiencing the duality, which we asked for. We own it. We must stand up and use it as a valuable tool to shift deeper into the existential field, which is consciousness, which is our wisdom, which is the Akashic records, the morphogenic field, the 0 point at our divinity. So let me bring in the slides just so you can see. There we go. This is what we're going to be talking about today. The main supportive tools: medicinal mushroom mix, algae mix, bee mix, and holistic ancestral orientation. And you see the horse there from the year of the horse. So living from the heart. I'm sure some of you, it conjures up, imagination in yourself as well. Many of us disregard our heart. We disregard our body as well. And when it comes to self-love, it's about how you live, not what you do. How you live. Are you living in a self-loving way all the time? Self-respect, self-honor, self-value. If you're judging people, you're self-validating. So what you see in others is what you're self-validating within yourself. When we reach the point where we not reacting, not judging, is when we're deepening into self-love, deepening into our existential understanding of who we are. Those of you that have done the holistic ancestral orientations know exactly what I'm speaking about. So a little bit more about heart-led living. Here we're looking at 3 main points: authenticity, alignment, and purpose. And deepening into really unconditional love, which is our divinity. And the year of the yang heart horse, coming from the heart, is going to demand these attributes. So this can be a self-check. Am I being authentic? Am I in alignment? Am I living my purpose? So I've made this very practical and very easy every day. And those of you who have joined know that you've got the workbook. So the sheets for week 4 are to follow after this webinar, and then you can piece the whole lot together. As I said, those of you who haven't joined, register. It's complimentary. It's free. Get the whole workshop. It's complimentary. In a week's time, it's over. Okay, so I'm giving it to you with my heart-led living. I'm doing it from my heart, if you like. So it was one of my actions that I put into place to walk the talk and teach what I'm doing and give people that opportunity, everybody, the opportunity to take part. So very, very, very exciting. And then let's talk now about deep nourishment, because we talked already about the physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual now, but we want to bring in some really extraordinary nutrients. I'm talking about things like peptides, long-chain sugars, sterols, and in addition, the medicinal mushrooms and the minerals and vitamins. I'm talking about a complete food, foods that love us, that come to this earth with love just to give and share. And in so doing, nourish every single cell. When your cells are nourished, it's much easier to love yourself because there's no depletion. There's no gap. You're not looking for something from someone else. You are completely saturated. You've got the almost gold. You've got the shilajit or the sea moss minerals inside you. You've got the flaxseed oil. You've got the replica RNA, DNA, peptides. You've got the active stem cells, which are the 5 top plant-based stem cell activators. You've got the microbiome reset. You've got the other vitamins and minerals in food state form, the brain fuel, the stress defense shield. And by the way, further down in this discussion, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day specials. So we'll see what I've put forward for you with the brain fuel and the stress defense shields. These are my coup de grace products, high level, top end. Where are you going to get 30 top nutrients? All in one smoothie boost or in a capsule. The smoothie is in a raw cacao base with hemp seeds and 30 nutrients, adaptogenic herbs, aromatase inhibitors, parasite removers, and just nourishment. People's memory comes back just by being nourished. And while I'm on that point, one of my sisters that works for me, very, very experienced, is working at a frail care center. And she's been taking little bottles of brain fuel or mushroom mix or cell oxygen and giving it to these people. Some of them come to her for palliative care, which means they've come to pass on. And meantime, what's happening is that they're all rejuvenating. So it's too funny for words. I mean, it's beautiful. But it's just so beautiful to see a body respond to nourishment, to the oxygen, to the DMSO. So there we have it. And whole food nourishment, plant-based, food state, nutrient-dense, quantum state is going to do this for us. It's going to support resilience and vitality. And while I'm on that, longevity, slowing aging. That's what we're looking for because we don't want to age too soon. I don't think so. We don't want to put the lid on how many years we're going to live because we don't know. So, and why would we do that? If you're in the flow and you're the leaf on the water passing the rocks, there is no future determined because the water will find the future. You will find the future in the flow. Those of you who've done the holistic ancestral orientation know exactly what I'm speaking about. We need to be in the flow, in peace, experiencing love, freedom, joy. Number one is self-love. When we're experiencing self-love, we can get to those high levels and achieve our divinity. So if we have a look now specifically at the nutrients, I'm just going to open up here. So the medicinal mushroom mix, and these products were created by me, signature products, 15 years ago. Amazing. And this one has got 6 mushrooms in it. Reishi, chaga, maitake, shiitake, cordyceps, lion's mane. I also have coriolus. I actually have 7, but in this super mix, there's 6. And this mix formed my original medicinal mushroom chocolates that are made. And so there's 30 nutrients in here. Imagine. Full of raw cacao, especially for Valentine's Day. Self-love first on Valentine's Day. Love self. Love yourself. I've already started posting on this, and there's a big special at the end. And so don't miss out on this one. This one is working with organs, systems, your intelligence, your memory. It's working in the quantum state, which is physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. And that's wow. Long chain sugars for the brain. That's what the brain needs. Medicinal mushroom mix. I've got a small and a large, a 60s and a 120. And some people are just using them as food, and I do that. So more focusing on quality as opposed to quantity of food. When your body is full of minerals, nutrients, probiotics, you're not looking for food, small scraps of food that are or big scraps of food that are going to fill the gap. You're not looking for greasy toasted cheeses, hamburgers, etc. You have a level of satiety. The brain is working properly. Your hypothalamus is working properly. Your sleep is much better. Your alkaline levels are much better. Your oxygenation levels are much better. You feel like exercising. You feel like moving. It's incredible. It's too incredible. Your brain is sharp. You're not tired at the end of the day. Everybody else is flaking and on their 5th cup of coffee, and not you. Do you want to be like this? Do you want to ace your health? If you do, follow this 4-week program and all my YouTubes and things, and you'll get there. Simple as that. Right, now we're going to have a look at the algae mix. This one is also purposely put together. We've got the blue-green algae, chlorella, and spirulina. And while the mushrooms are specific for organs, cholesterol, blood sugar, and all the rest of it, so is the algae. The mushrooms will also stimulate stem cell production. So will the algae, and so will the pollen. So they all also make messenger RNA, mRNA, which I talked about when we did the replica RNA DNA in week 2. So you're getting now a very powerful combination forming mRNA, DNA, the genetic structure. And it's evolving at the pace of the earth, because things like medicinal mushrooms come from out of space. The intelligence is being fed into us, dropped down in the cosmic dust. The algae was the first food to form in the physical form. So the spirulina, for example, is 70% dry weight protein. It was synthesized out of the nitrogen in the atmosphere. Okay, and it brought the oxygen onto the planet. The mushrooms could then grow. Huge, big umbrella mushrooms with deep, hyphae roots into the earth, developing the earth for the green plants. So the algae, spirulina, chlorella, very important for bone marrow stimulation to produce white blood cells. It's just about a must. And, that bone marrow is going to be weak if the kidney is ailing, because the kidney instructs the bone marrow. And it's not only white blood cells, it's also red blood cells, platelets, immunity. So this is a very, very important one. It also contains DHA and ALA, 2 very, very important oils. Follow the stories, and then you'll know. Follow my recordings. And the other one I want to talk about now is B-Mix. And again, I use my intuition as to what to recommend to people, but the B-Mix is especially for immunity, allergies, believe it or not. As I said, the mRNA, fertility, coming from the flower, the pollen in the flower, the feminine part of the plant. So these are my staples. I rotate them. Some clients buy a bottle of each, and they also rotate them, or they'll buy a bottle a month and rotate it that way. So that's just absolutely wonderful. Those are good foods. Dosage-wise, I would do 2 capsules a day if you really wanted to upgrade your immunity, a detox to a certain point. I would do 2 capsules morning and evening, or 3 capsules morning and evening. Remember, with these products, 2 to 4 capsules a day would be nutrition. When you start becoming and looking at 6 to 8 capsules a day, they'll detoxify for you as well as nourish you. Always dosage dependent.
And the nurse who's giving the frail care people, some of these, they are experiencing loose stools. So the intelligence of these plants works ahead of human comprehension. And it knows what has to happen first inside everyone's body. And the one whose leg doesn't want to work is now working, and things like that. So, yeah, she doesn't quite know what she's going to be telling the family when they come and visit and they see granny or grandpa that's supposed to be deteriorating and they're actually improving their health. Very interesting. And this is also what happens when you don't have an expectation. You leave it at that. Okay, now let's move to one of the big deals, the emotional processing. And I've talked about these things. I'm passionate about all my nutrients, but also emotional release, because at the end of the day, the root cause is beyond the physical root cause. My nutrients work in the holistic quantum field, which means they're adjusting physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual realms. The holistic ancestral orientation, which is dealing with repeated generational patterns, behavioral patterns, emotions, is in the quantum field itself. And this is where we achieve emotional freedom without re-traumatization. In other words, we don't have to relive or identify the actual trauma. The body's told us where the trauma is. We clear the memory. And the client achieves freedom, peace. It's visible, it's tangible. They tell you, I can see it. The life force is flowing. The face is shining. The inner alchemy's already got to work. The circulation's improved. The chi is circulating. The backache's relieved. The chest is relieved. Whatever they started with. So there is no guesswork. There is no maybe. You get up and you know, and you're different. And the beautiful thing is, in the existential field, you're dealing with the scalar wave. When a scalar wave's done, it's done. It doesn't change like a linear field where let's say you throw a stone in a pond and eventually the ripples dissipate and they're not there anymore. A scalar wave is in the vortex, in the existential field. And what you're doing is raising the frequency all the time. It's just fantastic. So restoring self-choice, putting self first. And it's not about competition. Trees don't compete. Butterflies, insects don't compete. It's not about that. I'm not competing or comparing myself to anybody. Once you get that right, you're also not self-validating. It doesn't matter to me who's got what, who's doing what, who lives where. It doesn't matter to me where I live. My paradise is inside. What matters to me is that I'm happy, and my inner barometer is going to tell me that, and so will yours. And I'm happier when I'm putting self first. I'm not happy when I'm potentially getting taken advantage of, or those kind of things. And I know it, I see it, and I rectify it immediately when I'm being judged. I'm also very aware of discernment. If someone's coming in and they're playing their game, I'm not going to get pulled in. You see, I'm not going to enter the argument and just be quiet. That's far more powerful than entering in it and becoming emotionally involved. That's draining for me. So for me, it's even keel, peace, calmness. And remember, I'm in the classroom as well. So it's work in progress. Every day I'm in a new reset, permanent reset. And I just thank all the incidences and people that come to teach me. And that is your own inner strength. That is self-choice. Choose yourself first. So even in Valentine's Day, choose yourself first. Love yourself before you can love others. And it's not about giving. It's about
giving items, gifts. Remember that raw cacao is a heart food. It opens the heart chakras. More on that in a moment. So this holistic emotional release is an absolute winner, getting to the root cause beyond the physical root cause. And people are sick and tired of being sick and tired because nobody's addressing this. And if they are, not thoroughly, not completely, not holistically, not where the person achieves a level of peace, love, freedom, joy, unconditional love, understanding of who they are. This is the process to do it. So now looking at this whole spiritual integration within this course, and knowing that we need to bring in the stillness, this presence, the self-respect. And that's what the ultimate end goal of the holistic ancestral orientation is within my high-low process. So in the beginning weeks, we do benchmark assessments, understanding physical root causes and emotional, setting the flow, recommending the pathways forward, recommending nutrients from the 365 Healthy by Choice range, looking at lifestyle factors, stress reduction factors with the nourishment and the detoxification, putting your affirmations through, committing to what you're wanting to do, going with the flow. And this is going to bring about the spiritual integration of everything, where we're in our stillness, in our presence, and respecting self. And when you've got triggers out there, when you are judging people, not respecting self, that's when you're going to meet all these little mirrors, I call them, opportunities to shift. So the more we get to the central stillness, the central still point of the vortex, where the golden means are spinning around each other, the more lessons we've learned, the more we're at peace, with the more awareness we have, the deeper we are in our understanding of consciousness, the closer we get to our divinity. Will we get to our divinity this life? I doubt it. This is an opportunity, but you never know. Because nobody knows what's beyond the 0 point. Not in this lifetime, well, not up until now in this life that we're living. We will know, as we're knowing more and more all the time. But right now, even the quantum physicists, even the ancient Eastern philosophers can't really put into words what's beyond the 0 point. So this stillness, presence, and self-respect is going to reconnect you with your inner guidance, your inner voice. I always say to my clients, what is your inner voice saying? Reconnect with it. And to do that, you've got to be still and present. Because that inner voice is speaking to us all the time. And remember to clear on things. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. That's the Ho'oponopono. And I've taught many of you to do the EMDR technique. Also healing. The more holistic ancestral orientation work you do with me, the more you can then train yourself to do your own iterative processes. Lovely. So what are we looking at next? Right, lifestyle. So I've touched on that, and we're bringing it in again because nature, grounding, good food, hydration, breathing, sunshine, rest, all anchor the heart-led living. And bring in the self-love. Love for self, love for others. So let's have a look at a nice affirmation. I live from my heart with truth and freedom. How does that resonate with you? I live from my heart with truth and freedom. I think that's basic. It's essential because we want to follow our truth. There's only one person you bluff if you're not in your truth, and that's you. And we know that. Our inner barometer tells us. So let the affirmation guide your choices beyond this program, beyond the 4 weeks. I live from my heart with truth. Very, very, very important. And that will bring the freedom. Self-love first, and then we achieve all of this. These are beautiful goals to aim for because they just ring true. I think most of you who are listening are agreeing with me. So let's see if you're ready to choose yourself first. I'm going to give just the one slide and to remind you about this year of the horse. Now, the Chinese New Year is next week on the 17th of February, 2006. And you can already feel that pace increasing. So the snake shed its skin and it's disappearing, and we're bringing in this fast movement, the courage, the truth, the heart-led living. You can see how I've integrated this into the self-love course. A depleted brain and an out of neurological, emotional, and spiritual alignment person cannot keep up with this energy. So get onto it. Clear, 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 clear. Get rid of, let go. The horse is not carrying baggage. It's agile. It's fast. It's peaceful in that gallop. In the flow. It's a beautiful image. And I've put in a slide here, which I'm going to post on the WhatsApp groups and on Facebook. And here's a morning yoga flow. Just too awesome. It's 45 minutes, and you can enlarge it when I post the recording. And most of us know these poses, and even if you don't do them, you will see how the body moves. You will see how the blood circulates, the chi, the life force. You will have spinal energy flow, and everything comes out of the spinal energy flow. And just to, say again, we need to be in the still, silent peace, breathing, pausing, quiet, listening, hearing, observing, noticing. I just say in permanent meditation, really. I don't think you have to go and sit somewhere. I don't think you have to sit. Who says you can't lie down? Who says I can't meditate when I'm walking or swimming or even doing my yoga? Clear the brain. Stop the traffic. Stop the Tom and Jerry's that are constantly doing this. And this and this and this and them and that and this and them. And then you fall because you weren't in the present. It's when you do slip. When the Tom and Jerry's are carrying on, and we bring the peace. So let's bring the movement in. Let the body be in the flow. And let's integrate the program. Integrate all your worksheets of week 1 to 4 with the 365 Healthy by Choice support tools, the nutrients, the NQB, Q450, health scans, the benchmarking, the treatment from the NQB, the realignment, the emotional releasing, and it's all here for you. So let's jump into that alignment. Let's be real. Let's be truthful to self. Let's be proud of ourselves for what we're achieving. I think that's important. We look back a little bit and say, wow, that's where I was then. Who would have said I'm here now? People forget quickly. My clients forget very quickly. And it's quite interesting to see how the conversation changes from the first consultation and everything and the blame and the this and the that and the neuroses. And then they've already morphed after a month due to the nutrients, due to the emotional clearing, due to their own personal growth. The conversation's different. And I don't really, make it my business to say, hey, well, what happened to that? Because that's past, it's gone. The universe works with speed. The minute you give it direction, the minute it sees you working, it's there for you. And most often we need to be patient and wait. unsuspecting things happen. We don't want to have expectations ever. Now, let's have a look. We have the list of February celebrations. There's 4 of them. Valentine's Day, 14th of February. Chinese New Year, Year of the Yang Heart Horse, 17th of February. Included on the 17th that evening would be the solar eclipse, the Ring of Fire. Dynamic energy. 17th is a date not to be reckoned with. Be awake. And then next Thursday, on the 20th, will be the culmination of the week 4. People who've completed this, the week 4. So there's lots to celebrate here. I've got a 15% off store-wide nutrients and products that are already on a 15% for all of you, really to come into this beautiful, beautiful energy. Love the heart that carries you. And in particular, to do with Valentine's Day, we're bringing in the cacao, the raw chocolate, the heart-based raw cacao, opening up the heart chakra, the love. And there I've got the brain fuel and the stress defense shield smoothies and all capsules. And the 13 nutrients I told you about. There's a beautiful smoothie. I'm warning you, it's addictive in the positive sense. It is just so nourishing, and your body just craves it because it knows it's going to be satisfied. People crave chocolate because they crave magnesium. Magnesium is the calming, peaceful trace mineral. And that's one of the reasons. Also, the raw cacao will feed into your serotonin levels, tryptophan and serotonin levels. Highest antioxidant of all the foods on the planet is raw cacao. Remember, it works, it lives intertwined in the forest with the macuna bean. And you know I love the macuna bean. Your neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, PEA, etc. And why do I love it? Because I'm sitting here in the blue light. And here are my glasses, and I can bring my red light, which isn't on at the moment, but let me lower it if I can. You see, here's my red light. I'll just put it on. I unplugged it so I didn't get caught in the... and here's the light, you see. So I'm working constantly with my blue light reflective glasses on and my infrared red light and near and far infrared panel. So I'm deflecting the blue light that's coming at me. And by the way, these are on special, the lights. They're always on special. So I've got desk stands as well, ranging from L21 right up to L60. That's the strength. So that's why the macuna is so important, because it replaces the dopamine that gets lost with the blue light. And that's tragic, because dopamine is our will to do things. Who wants to be apathetic in a world like this where there's enormous opportunities, growth opportunities? You know, when you go one day, and we all will, you want to tick those boxes and say, I gave this life my best. I didn't leave stones uncovered. That's what I want to do. So these are our awesome celebrations. And those are the movement ones, which I've already spoken to you about. So all of this is available on the 365 Healthy by Choice website. And I honor my clients, friends, colleagues who have worked on themselves, reset, and contributed to holistic health and well-being. And I do post the case studies when I get time and the testimonies, but there are hundreds on a day-to-day basis pouring in. And it's very, very exciting. So with that, I'm going to leave you to assimilate what we've talked about. Those of you who've got your workbooks to go and relook, add to them, and I'll be sending you the week 4 worksheets within a day or two. Thank you so much for being here. See you next week, and look out for the celebrations and be with the flow.